Hello learners! This is the first topic of Unit 2 and the topic is dealt with in two videos. The topic contains the second step of the research process, that is, the review of literature. Various sources of literature review as well as the various steps that are connected with the literature review will be discussed in detail in this topic. Review of literature is the second step after the identification of research problem in the research process. Review of literature is one of the most important steps in the research process. Through the literature review, we get an idea that what is already known about the particular phenomenon which you want to research. Review of literature is an objective, in-depth summary and critical analysis of the study material available, research as well as non-research literature on the topic being taken for conducting the research. Literature review is not an easy task, but with the advent of technology, list of related material can be retrieved also with the availability of a number of open access journals. It has become even easier to locate the extensive literature within a small period of time. To understand the concept of a review of literature, let's discuss some viewpoints. A literature review is an account of what has been already established or published on a particular research topic by accredited scholars and researchers. Review of literature gives an insight to the researchers as to what is important to study, what is known, what is not known, and what are the shortcomings of the previous research. Review of literature helps in determining the gaps and inconsistencies in the body of knowledge on the phenomenon under study. It is a backbone of any research study as all the steps of research process are influenced by earlier literature studied on the phenomenon under study. Literature review helps in identification of research problem and planning of research methodology. It also assists in identification of relevant conceptual frameworks, development of research instruments, and assists in interpretation of study findings. Let's now discuss the sources of literature review. There are two main types of sources of literature review: the primary sources and the secondary sources. Primary sources are the authentic reports written by original researchers. These are the reports drawn from peer-reviewed and published journals. In other words, these are the research articles written by researchers who had conducted the original research study. The credibility of literature review is judged on the basis of inclusion of studies mainly from primary sources. Secondary sources involve reviews, descriptions, or articles written by persons other than the original researchers. It may include the news articles in the newspapers, newsletters, review articles by editors or reviewers, minutes of meetings and reports mentioned in the literature review or discussion section of original research articles. The main sources from where literature can be searched are either printed sources or electronic sources. Printed sources include journals, research reports, unpublished dissertations and theses, magazines, newspapers, periodicals, conference papers, proceedings, books, etc. Talking about the electronic resources, there has been a revolution in the literature search as a vast amount of literature is now available through electronic sources. There are a number of databases on management and business research which can be used to access the literature. With the use of electronic sources, time and energy consumed on literature search has decreased to the minimum and helps in finding data within no time. So learners, I hope you have a fair idea of what is a review of literature and what are the sources of review of literature. Thank you.